DL was not there that day.
Oh, he
I
wasn't
said to
there.
his team, let me call DL Hugley, because what I know is that brother ain't down like that. He gonna have a problem with y'all saying that kind of foolishness. So I get DL
Mm-hmm.
Hugley's telephone number and I called DL Hugley. And I said, hey man, I just did an interview with your people, and this is what they trying to run. Like this is the game they trying to play. And DL's response was, that's just how we do, and that's what it is.
Wow.
I said, really, brother? So we attack families now? Like, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do. I said, DL, I would suggest you don't air that because I don't think it's going to make you look good to the community. Now, if y'all notice, that never got aired and I never said anything. Through the years, I never said anything. I kept it to myself because what I knew was that I was going to see DL Hugley again. Now, after that situation happened, it let me know for whatever reason, DL Hugley was not cool with me. For
Wow.
whatever reason.
Wow.
Then through the years, and I want y'all to hear me, please. Through the years, I've listened to this man talk about all that I'm not, what I didn't deserve. I was mentally ill. I was bitter. Me and my husband did poor business. I was selfish. I was fanatic. I was psychotic. Now, don't take my word, please. You can Google it for yourself, YouTube it for yourself. D.L. Hugley speaks on Monique.
Mm-hmm.
And through the years, my babies,
Yeah, we seen
I
it.
said nothing because I knew the day would come that I would see D.L. Hugley. Now, for every interview he's done, I didn't get it from nobody else's mouth. I watched it for myself. And I watched this brother sit down with that white cat, Vlad, and tell this white man all that I wasn't, as the white man told him all that me and
That
my
white
husband
cat.
wasn't. And I watched D.L. Hugley go in. Now, it ain't that he just goes in on me. D.L. Hugley has a habit of saying freely what he wants to say about anybody.
Ice Cube,
Come on.
Angela Stanton,
Come on.
uh,
Kanye West.
mm-hmm.
Like the young
RZA,
babies.
Islam.
The young babies, the rappers, Young
Riza
Thug and Gunna.
Islam, man.
Yep.
See, and let me tell y'all, when I made that joke about you, D.L. Hugley, I didn't think you
He
would
said
get
Riza
tender
Islam.
in your feelings because you made the comment about the baby stage names and you said with names like that, don't you think they would wind up in jail? Well, that's what you said. Well, I thought I was coming back being clever, making a joke because you know back in the day when somebody was on the DL, you know what they were. I don't think you're a homosexual man, DL. I was making a joke and I can't believe you got
He
tender.
did something strange for
See,
some
you
piece of
got
change.
tender after you've talked for years. So let me be clear to you babies watching. Saturday night, I don't care where I went up on that stage, I was going to hand D.L. Hugley his ass because through the years I've listened to this man speak
Mm-hmm.
so freely about my poor decisions, my life choices, and he spoke as if we had a conversation sitting down talking.
Now, please tell the good people out there what it is that made you go on his show to be blindsided by that question in the first place. What was it about your relationship that made you think he was a comrade in comedy?
See, y'all, I'm one of them old school kind of girls. I'm one of them old school, round the way, down the block kind of girls. And when you get invited to my home, that means something to me. And this was back in the day, this was back in the 90s. And I was opening up for D.L. Hugley. And I was excited. He was doing a comedy club in Upper Maryland. It was the night of a Mike Tyson fight.
Turn that
So no
video,
one
daddy.
showed up. 10 people
Turn that
showed up to
video,
the
daddy.
show. It was no
Love,
judgment
love,
because
love,
everybody
daddy.
understood when Mike Tyson fight, the world shuts down. So for whatever reason, DL had the date. They booked me on the show with them. I'm excited. We get there. It's 10 people. I say, hey, DL, so the night's not a total bust.
Hey, down low.
Why don't you and your audience, because they came to see him, come on back to my home? We can watch the fight.
My
I'll
sweet
fix some
babies.
food. Let's have a good time. So I invite this
Yeah,
man
they got this
back
video
to
all
my
sideways.
home. Now, I don't know about y'all, but my home is my sacred place. But I invite him and his audience back.
Y'all sideways, sweet
so
baby.
people wouldn't walk away disappointed that there was no show. So that's why I felt like from that moment to the moment I did his radio show and they tried to come with foolishness, I always thought D.L. Hugley and I
Now
were
this
cool.
is live, Letitia
Always.
Smith.
Never knew
This ain't no replay.
that he had so much to say.
And had Brother DL, because regardless of the beef, that's still our brother.
Come on.
But had Brother DL simply said, I apologize that offended you, I apologize for catching you off, I could see how that could catch you off, because had my wife came on there and you said something like that to her in reference to me, that would have been insulting, because we are supposed to be protective of one another in that regard. But beyond
Blind
that,
Mellow Jelly, this
because
is live.
when Monique told me that that's what he said, I personally didn't take offense to him utilizing me.
It says live right there on the damn screen.
I took exception to him utilizing Brother Lee and Sister
Corinne,
because what had they done to him? Again, when you are a senior in the community and you 59 years old and your history is you used to be in the gang, you dropped out of school, you got your GED, that right there is an incredible story of how somebody made mistakes, turned it around, came from nothing, and made something of himself. Can't help but give him props, be proud of him. But when you listen to him go after Ice Cube, because that man made a decision as a man to say, I'm not going to get that vaccination, and it doesn't matter how much money it is. That's what you call integrity. When you have a brother named Kanye that has had the challenges that he's had, and you have him
smash that like button,
calling that man out, as opposed to calling him up and saying, let me put my arm around you. And he and Steve talking about, we come from a place called Whoop Ass.
The Whoop Ass Tribe.
The Whoop Ass Tribe. Listen, that may have been cool when you were younger, but what you trying to give to the young folks, because if they get the whooping on people, they going to jail. I'm 54. DL 59. Steve 62. Monique 50-something years old. What we like look
you
like
50-something, I'm 54.
My bad. 54, I know. But what good would it do our old asses out here fighting? So the point of all of that is, there's an old saying, you live by the sword and you die by the sword. If you've been comfortable talking about Rizza Islam in reference to his opinion about a vaccine, if you're talking about our sister
Angela
Stanton and her views, but then she approaches you in the airport to see your personal opinion about it, but you call security. If you don't believe me, reach out.
Okay, we sorry.
We saying to you then, we shouldn't talk about people and then not have the same energy when we see them, when we talked about them. But that's what happens when you start with people that didn't start anything with you.
Go ahead.
No, baby, go ahead.
And I want to address something too, because I want y'all to watch how people like D.L. Hugley will throw smoke and mirrors to try to distract from what it really is. If you watch the video of what I said, if you watch that video, I didn't say anything insulting in reference to that man's family, nor his beautiful wife. What I said is I feel sorry for your family. I feel sorry for your wife. Now, the other part that I said, y'all know what it was, and I'm going to leave it on the stage.
But to be specific, without being specific, you essentially said, I feel sorry for your wife having to perform a sexual act on a coward.
That's exactly.
How do you perform a sexual act on a coward. There is nothing that was said about your wife,
Nothing.
your family.
Nothing.
It was directed specifically to you.
So let me be clear again. For all the shade droppers, tea spillers, candy bar biters, Saturday night, D.L. Hugley was going to get his ass handed to him because through the years, I've heard this man have a lot to say about me. And what the type of person I am, if y'all don't know by now, I wasn't going on nobody's radio show talking about how I felt towards D.L. Hugley. I wasn't going on nowhere. I was going to make sure the night that I spoke about D.L. Hugley, I wanted D.L. Hugley to be there. Now, I want to address something else. And everything I'm saying, please find it out for yourself. I want to address something. When D.L. Hugley says, and then she brought in Steve Harvey.
Smash that like button, my
let me
sweet
tell
babies.
y'all something. This ain't new. I watched D.L. Hugley and Steve Harvey sit on his show and lie.
DL show.
On DL show and lie. I watched Steve Harvey say to DL, we had to edit the show because Monique was saying some crazy stuff and we had to protect her. And then DL says, yeah, man, you was just trying to protect her. And then Steve says, yeah, man, well, let me ask this question. When did they get into the black woman protection business? So that's why I said Steve Harvey that night.
All these people in here and them lights low as hell. Get them lights up, man.
Medicine that you've dished out to our community for so long through the years, and I want to address what you're trying to make the show out to be. Detroit, I want to say thank you for that amazing night because it was amazing. And when DL says the people left disheartened and disappointed and they were ashamed and embarrassed, well, let's address that because I think it's only fair. From my understanding, Josh Adams kicked butt. From my understanding, Sister Ava Rodriguez kicked butt. Now, I can speak for me because I was there. When I walked out on that stage in Detroit, those beautiful people, they gave me a standing ovation.
What happened when you walked off?
Those beautiful people gave me a standing ovation. Now, what has happened in that moment, and this is for the comics who have so much to say. Come on, sweet babies.
Come on, sweet babies.
Comedy 101.
Come on, sweet babies.
When you are the headliner, you have to meet the challenge. Regardless as to who goes in front of you and what is said, you have to meet the challenge. And what happened was when D.L. Hugley walked out on that stage, he could not meet
Got Curry in the building.
See, I've had to go up on stage after people have headline. I've had to go up on stage after people have talked ill about me in front of me. I still got to go up on that stage. And my job as the headliner is to make sure when that audience leaves, they leave feeling fulfilled. So because you could not step up to the challenge, D.L. Hugley,
hey, sweet
you have now made it appear as if
going on, Curry gang.
And if y'all were paying attention, my babies.
So finish your thought. He made it appear as if the night was bad.
He made it appear as if the night was bad. Just
hey, my sweet babies.
Yeah. Just your moments were bad, yeah. And I want to address something else because if you want to try to make me look unprofessional, let me tell you how much I get down for the people. I could have not gone on that stage.
Could y'all hear me? Could you hear me, JR?
We can hear you. You wouldn't got paid either.
Out on that stage.
Oh, I did you.
Because I love the people. I don't take those people for granted. I don't take the people for granted that may have paid their last dollar to buy a ticket to a show. That
Am I clear? Am I clear?
People for granted that said, you know what, tonight I need to come out and release this. I don't take those people for granted. So I could have not gone out on that stage. But because of the people, I walked out on that stage and I said that to the people. So when y'all say, well, why didn't she go out? Because that's just not the type of woman I am.
And I want to share something with y'all.
Get them lights up, my sweet babies.
About this human being sitting to the right. What she says that she really means that
it's a little choppy.
She had the privilege of being told by a gentleman y'all may have heard of, who said, never stop being who you are. Always be you because you works. His name was Richard Pryor. there's a gentleman by the name of Rudy Ely. That's the nephew of the legendary Paul Mooney. He was there and to corroborate Paul Mooney saying, you may call you Mrs. Pryor. What do they call him that?
Her audio is messed up. Is that Monique's audio that's messed up like that?
Yeah, it can't be yours.
Damn, Monique. Gotta get that together. Hey, my sweet babies.
That joint broke up, my sweet baby. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Dang, what's going on, man?
Hey, my sweet sugary babies.
Get those legs up, my sweet
The connection, the connection sound like the Matrix right now. My sweet sugary baby.
Let me tap out and go back in. Let me refresh this joint.
Yeah, let's try that. Yeah,
Or let me go refresh this live real quick.
Make sure y'all smash that like button in the meantime.
What's going on with this, man?
Somebody said that's zesty.
I don't know what's going on here, my sweet babies. Refresh the page.
Shit.
Attack play. Damn, come on, man.
So you sort of sound like the Matrix a little bit.
Bro?
Yeah, it's a little choppy. I don't know if it's choppy on 8. Do I sound choppy, y'all?
I think it might be. I don't know. Try this shit again. See what's going on. Shit might be browsed on some dumb shit. Alright, hold on. Alright, here we go. Let me check this real quick.
Yeah, you sound a little choppy, JR.
For real?
Yeah, you sound mad choppy.
Do your own homework. Pull it up for yourself. And then ask yourself, how many times am I going to get poked? How many times is people going to just start messing with people that's not messing with them?
Are we back?
So again, what happened Saturday night? I'm going to say it again. D.L. Hugley was going to get his ass handed to him. Because once y'all go back all through the interview, I'm going to be shocked. I will be shocked if y'all say, Mo, I'm surprised you didn't get
I think it's good.
Brother, a lot sooner because it went on for years.
And when Brother DL says Monique does what a lot of women do, and that's weaponized feminism. No, what a lot of women do is they get mistreated because they're feminine, because they happen to be women. So when a woman takes the course of facing her opposition head on, she's a bitch. She don't know what she's doing. She being disrespectful. I mean, what's the name of the book Brother Steve Harvey wrote? What was it called?
Act like a lady, but think like a man. What? Do y'all see what we buy into? I'm not equipped to think like a man. I'm not equipped to think like a man.
And why does a woman have to think like a man in order to be accepted?
That book was
and
stupid,
then,
I think.
When a woman thinks like a man and dealt with DL head on, book. Now it's a problem again.
But I gotta go back to this, Daddy.
That book was
I can't
stupid.
believe DL Hugley. I can't believe Daryl Lynn, you a tender.
Daryl
Lynn. It has nothing to do with your sexuality. It has everything to do with your heart. I can't believe you that tender. I can't believe. Oh, and she was. What is the word he uses?
Tender.
Tender.
It was vile.
Oh yes, I can't. You, brother.
Forgotten King, what's up, brother?
Your feelings.
See you up in here.
I cannot believe that, DL. And that for the comedians, pay attention, baby. Pay attention.
Shout out to the brother
when you
Forgotten
run your mouth
Kings.
about other people and you don't
Subscribe
know
to
who
his
you
YouTube
running up
channel.
into,
He posts
and then you get to
good
run into a
content too.
brick wall, and then you want to play victim and fall out and act like you've been damaged. Come on. Like I
Tenderoni,
said, I
sweet
feel
babies.
sorry for your family, brother.
If I may,
Yes, you may,
change in
Dad.
another direction.
Change it.
Change it, sweet baby.
What we believe in is trying to put forth the facts because we love our people.
Yes.
And what a lot of individuals don't know is the people that he spoke about Monique having a problem with, he said they all are the same. And they're right. They all were people who stepped to her and she stepped back. Now that's the problem. If you notice throughout the years, what are the details associated with what makes Monique difficult? See, when they speak in generalities, it allows you to come up with your conclusion about how she was difficult, but they never go into the specifics. See, the specifics would be Monique has a problem with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. Oprah Winfrey for multiple reasons. Besides the fact that as a Black woman who privately said, and here's that word again, privately communicated to Monique and I that her position for not campaigning for an award was right and it was fair because everything she did was up on the screen. In addition to the fact that she had no contractual obligation to do anything for Lionsgate. When you have Tyler Perry, who privately admits the same thing, but also says, anything they ask me to do is what I'll do. When you have a billionaire who says, anything they ask me to do, I'll do, what begins to happen is they'll use his actions of compliance to put down everybody else. So Monique was supposed to do something for people that she owed nothing. Now, if you think that she was wrong for that, this is what I would suggest you do. When you go to work tomorrow, or if you're at work right now, go to your boss and say, listen, moving forward, I've been tripping. I've been looking for money at the end of the week for my job. Moving forward, I'm gonna work for you and let you make money off of me and I get nothing in return. If you think that what she did was inappropriate. The Black woman is violated so much that y'all heard the recording of Tyler Perry saying he was wrong and he was gonna make it right and he is yet to make it right, but nobody is saying anything to him because he's Tyler Perry. There's a quote
He's
that goes, some people are fearful of the truth. They are fearful of hearing the truth because they are afraid it will destroy their illusion. We don't want nobody to take away our God. And we got to be connected more, not to who the celebrity is, not more to who's Black, not more to who's white, not more to who's a Democrat, not more to who's a Republican. We've got to be connected to what's right. And sometimes when you're connected to what's right, you got to face the ridicule associated, but I'd rather face the
That's what we be talking about.
We'd rather face the ridicule
Stay connected to the source,
associated with
baby.
doing what's right than face the personal ridicule that we would impose upon ourselves for standing there and letting wrong happen and say nothing.
Now I want to address the contract and a deal memo.
May I help you with that? I'm
Yes,
sorry, my
Daddy.
love.
Yes.
Please forgive.
Go on, take your time.
So, as not to freestyle, I pulled up the difference between the two. This will give you it in a nutshell. A memorandum of understanding, or the deal memo that D.L. Hugley presented to the people. It says, a memorandum of understanding is a document used to articulate an agreement between two or more parties. The document is likely to detail the scope of the agreement, the length of the agreement, and the state how the agreement can be terminated. A memorandum of understanding is often used before parties are ready to make a formal, let me repeat that. A memorandum of understanding is used before parties are often used before parties are ready to make a formal agreement. Parties can use a memorandum of understanding to outline expectations and responsibilities before a full agreement has been reached. Unlike contracts, however, a memorandum of understanding is not intended to be a legally binding agreement. As a result, parties can typically avoid the agreement with no legal consequences. Let me repeat that, and I'm going to break it down in layman's terms. When they say, unlike contracts, however, a memorandum of understanding, which is what DL provided the community with,
Yes.
is not intended to be a legally binding agreement. By legally binding, that means that if you were to try to sue for what was not on a memorandum of understanding, there are no signatures. It is not legally binding. And the agreement, because he made the statement, oh, that came from his company. Well, the MOU came from UTA, which, as it says here, unlike contracts, however, a memorandum of understanding is
Her
not intended to
contract
be a
ain't had
legally binding
nothing to do
agreement.
with his contract.
As a
I don't
result,
understand.
parties can typically avoid the agreement with no legal
They need to take that up with their lawyers
However,
and they promo team.
that brings you to what Monique presented
The
you
hell?
with, which was a legal binding agreement. See, one of the key differences between a memorandum of understanding and a legal contract is enforceability. That means the key difference between a contract and a memorandum of understanding is enforceability. Contracts are created when two or more parties intend to create a legally enforceable agreement. Parties into contracts after an offer has been accepted with considerations. Parties to contracts are legally obligated to comply with the terms and conditions of the agreement. I'll repeat.
Hey.
I'll repeat. It says, parties to contracts are legally obligated to comply with the terms and conditions of the agreement. If a term or condition of a contract is breached, parties will face legal consequences. So, what does that mean? The documentation, hence the performance agreement that Monique provided you with, is a legally binding contract, which is the reason why, if you looked at the bottom of the contract, you saw initials on both sides, one from the promoter, one from our side. When he said this came from their company, it did, because the artist must have a standard contract she provides as a courtesy to the promoter, because they won't know what it is that they need in order to utilize her services for hire. We wanted to get that granular and specific because DL was comfortable speaking in generalities. And generalities allow things to be hidden, such as the truth.
You know how you keep watching our stories over and over and over again, and the only thing that changes are the faces because the stories remain.
Why are they feuding? Why they ain't feuding with the ones who gave them the contract?
Anything close to a contract, what are you feeding us, DL? You know that's a deal memo. You can put anything you want to put in the deal memo. That's what you would like. And DL Hugley has yet to still show his signed contract. And this is something else that I want to address to us. When I see the comedians having these conversations,
Losers.
it makes
Slackers.
my heart hurt for y'all, because it's making me understand how they are able to exploit, take advantage, use, misuse. I understand how it's able to be done, because when y'all start standing up and you're fighting against a sister that's saying you've got to treat us fairly. You're fighting against a sister that's saying, I earned that position as headliner. Didn't nobody give it to me? I earned that position. You got a sister that's saying, listen, I'm, as D.L. Hugley would say, oh, she just selfish and thinking about herself. Anybody that's selfish, D.L. Hugley, would not take a 13-year hit in their career. See, if I was selfish, I would have taken the $500,000 that Tyler Perry tried to offer.
To be quiet about it.
To be quiet and make it go away. If I was selfish, D.L. Hugley, I would have had the conversation privately. See, I know the moment I say it out loud, I know the ridicule is coming. I know I know it's coming full
Tyler
force.
Perry
But you know
offered
what?
more, she would
I
have
don't
took that
care.
and be
And when
quiet.
they say we don't like the way they do business, why is it they don't get specific about
The
what
business
it
we've done.
is that
Facts.
we've done? The problem that it's had with Monique, as with many Black women, y'all not supposed to stand up for yourself. You're not supposed to stand up for yourself. If Tyler Perry says anything they ask me to do is what I do and he's a billionaire, well, who are you to stand up for yourself? See, we know we crazy. We crazy because everything that we're communicating goes, it is counterintuitive if you're trying to get the bag.
You know what, Daddy, though? I'm sorry.
You know what, Daddy, though?
But if you're trying to get inner peace, because it's a lot of rich people out here, but they don't have inner peace. Everybody's mama, when they set out for Hollywood, say, don't forget us when you make it. I'm sorry, don't forget where you come from. That's what they say. Don't forget where you come from. Well, we come from a little place called Baltimore, Maryland.
Starting to get choppy
A little
again.
place called Baltimore, Maryland.
Yes.
But it's
Yeah.
no different from Detroit. It's no different from Philly, D.C., Compton, Arkansas, Little Rock,
not on this
Arkansas.
side.
It's no different from Nebraska. It's no different from New York. Where the real people live, they can relate to what it is that we're saying. They appreciate the specificity, the specifics, the granular discussion that we're having. We are not going to talk to you in generalities. You can't ask us, do we have anything up our sleeve because we came here wearing tank tops. Okay, we want to be transparent with you. I'm sitting next to a Black woman who you want to call selfish, but y'all forget when he brought up Lee Daniels. See, Lee Daniels has a support team that tapped into that man's conscience, that made him say, let me go up on stage and give this woman an apology. I want my friend back because I know. And if y'all listen to what he said afterwards, it's very important. He said, I got caught up essentially in the hoopla until I realized what was important. And it took an individual who had enough nuts, literally and figuratively, from the trans community named T.S. Madison,
Come on.
to have a real conversation with him. It took his family, his sisters, his people, Black women that circled him and said, do right, do what's right. And you know what? He was big enough as a man to do it. See, we don't fault anybody for making a mistake. The fault comes in when you know you made a mistake and you're not big enough to own what it is that you've done. And this Black woman right here, because y'all, people have called her selfish. Y'all wasn't there on the set when it was a white gentleman refusing to give Lee Daniels the light he was supposed to get. And he said, I'm not going to give Lee the light that he wants. And Monique pulled his card right there and brought Lee over and said, this man is messing with your life. Y'all wasn't there on the set of Almost Christmas when Will Packer was given direction over a Black man named David Talbot, who wrote and directed Almost Christmas. And she said, hey, don't disrespect this, what?
Black man.
By giving directions as a producer over the director. If you don't believe us, ask the question. See, y'all weren't there when Monique was on the Parkers. And she said to the individual, because this is what makes her a problem. I need y'all to know she can be difficult. This is what makes her a problem. The individuals that you call extras, she calls background professionals. She had a problem that they were sitting around all day, and water and lemonade was what they were given. And she said, why won't y'all give them some of the hot food that we eat? Because we ordering out and y'all ain't even eating. See, that is a problem. But who is it a problem for? Is it a problem for the people who are sitting there?
It sound like all these niggas just trying to sell tickets.
Because they were there before.
We get there
Okay. And there.
after.
Or is it a problem for the powers that be? And you got to ask yourself, who is she having these challenges with? Is it the powers that be, or is it the people in the support positions trying to uplift the show? And it's the powers that be. Now, if Tyler Perry, if Oprah Winfrey had the courage to do the same thing, Monique never would have been blackballed for 13 years, because they would have said, we can't ask that sister to do anything for us for free when we don't have a contract for her to do anything with us.
Thank you, baby, because I want to address something.
Get it.
And I want you black women to hear what this black man is saying. I gave Monique a chance. D.L. Hugley said he gave me a chance. Well, here will be the question. To do what?
Mm-hmm.
What did you give me a chance to do? You weren't the promoter. No monies came from you. Who are you that you would be giving me a chance? The arrogance that you could speak like that, that I gave her a chance to do what, DL? And then if you're going to tell it, please don't mislead people. DL and I were scheduled to do another show together. I want us to address it, and I want y'all to do your homework. If you remember the Super Bowl show that happened in LA, there was a time that D.L. Hugley was on that show. And then there was a time that he just wasn't.
But you were the what on that show?
Headliner. I was the headliner on that show. All these other times that he speaks about, it never came across our desk. So stop trying to pull the wool over the community's eyes. And what I would ask of the community, what I would beg of us, stop being so quick to jump on the bus, whichever way it goes down the street. Be brave enough to listen to what it really is, not your emotions, not what you, listen to the facts of what it is. Go back and listen to what I said. I feel sorry for your family. I feel sorry for your wife. Listen to what I said. Listen to what I said when that man said, would your husband, or that woman said, would your husband rather sleep with these people? Ricky Smiley, would you be offended if someone said that about your loved ones? How about you, Roland Martin? Would you be offended if someone asked you that about your wife? How about you, Kim Whitley?
And he was also speaking in reference to wanting to give Monique a chance, and his people had warned him against it, as if he had some sort of prophecy seeing into the future ability. Let's clarify why he felt that way.
Why did he feel that way?
See, there was a show that he was doing on TV One called the D.L. Hugley Show.
Yes.
They reached out to me to ask if Monique would come on the show. I informed them, per her statement to me, that she would not be coming.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got it, sweetness? Okay.
They then came back and asked why. I said to Monique, would you like me to tell her? She said, please do. I expressed to them, Monique did not feel comfortable going on the show with an individual or supporting a man that she thought was a friend that would blindside her with the question that was ultimately putting our people down.
Smash that like
it was
button,
at
family.
that moment that DL knew there was a problem between Monique. But
Appreciate you.
if you notice, he never made mention about that.
Why
Hit the
not?
cash app, brothers and
You
sisters.
get
Hit the
into the
PayPal.
specifics
Dr. Umar.
because we don't have anything to hide.
I'm sorry, Daddy. The way D.L. Hugley is playing it is if I just came from out of left field and just jumped on this man. No, 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 D.L. See, what you can't erase are the interviews. You can't erase your words. Those are your words. You can't erase calling me mentally ill. You can't erase calling me all of these slick things, brother. That's what
That's
you
slick,
said.
slick things,
And now
brother.
you tender. Now you trying to trick our community. So when you're talking about I
What happened?
turn people against you, no, DL, you do a fine, mighty job of that yourself. And what happens is when you get your own medicine, now we sit here. And I want to
The
address something else,
establishment
Daddy.
love watching niggas argue with each
When
other
I
while they
listen to
sit back
people
and just
like D.L.
laugh.
Hughley,
Mm-hmm.
They love it.
and it says, and calling him daddy, that's so weird. And I listen to the people like the Breakfast Club. This daddy thing, that's so weird. And I listen to some other people.
You talking about
Isn't it
Charlotte gang?
weird
I mean, man.
that they got us thinking love is weird to each other?
In addition to, they failed to mention that I refer to her
As
mama.
mama. So we have bought into people having enough reverence and honor and respect to call each other mama and daddy, and they've made our community believe that that is weird. Really? So again, when I say I feel sorry for your family, I stand on what I said.
I feel sorry for your
Because
mother.
anytime you're pouring into the community to show your spouse
Say about my mama.
how much reverence you have for them, how much love, honor, and y'all have bought into it is weird.
I don't
And
any
I want
trouble.
to
Just
address
get
it because I
out.
see some people writing down, oh, that go her husband again. That go, yes, there he goes again. God damn it. There he goes. Here he will stay. And because it looks so unfamiliar
Right.
to see a black man standing with his black wife, because it looks so unfamiliar to us, some of us sweet babies
She
will
said y'all
try to
just some
pull it
freaks.
apart.
That's funny.
But when you get pulled up by Miss Sherilyn in the Whole Foods and she grabbed you by your arm and she pulled up her girlfriend who easily was in her early 70s, and they say, we proud of how you stay by that black woman. We proud of what y'all doing. We can take all the ridicule, all the insults from anyone. What we trying to imply and confirm for individuals that are together, utilize your mate because the system,
We all messy,
the
my sweet
world
babies.
is
I
designed.
I hope a lot of y'all show up for when we speak
Out
these
of
truth
the
video, when we
individuals
come
that
on
you
the internet,
see
when we come
talking
online
about
with
the
the
poor
truth,
treatment
I
that
hope
women get
2.2K
in this
people show up for
industry,
that.
how come you never see
Y'all
their
showing up for the
management
mess.
system?
How come?
And
We
the
all
reason
messy, my
is
sweet
it is
baby.
not in the best interest of
We sweet
management to
babies. That's
speak to
why
the
we messy.
bias that is attached to their black artists. And the
We
reason
all should
is
have bibs on.
they are beholden to the studios. Because as Monique was told by a former manager of a larger agency, and I witnessed it, he said,
Go get your
it
bibs,
is
my
in
sweet
our
babies,
best
because we
interest
all
to
messy.
be on the side of the studios. Why? Because artists come and go, but the studios still stay.
He said, don't
And
chastise
when
your
y'all are
viewers.
saying Monique called DL, I
We ain't
have no
chastising.
reason to call DL Hugley. If DL Hugley would like to talk to me and my husband, there's an open invitation. We would love to come on the show. But see, I didn't open up the door to this. D.L. Hugley opened up the door. Now you want to run and hide and close it. And now you want to talk and act as if you have been victimized. That's where the shame should come in. That's where the shame and the embarrassment should come in. See, there's no interviews y'all can find of me speaking about D.L. Hugley. There's not one interview in the history of interviews that you will find me speaking ill about D.L. Hugley. Not one, but there are several out there of him speaking of me.
And others.
And you're right, Daddy, because it ain't personal. And others. You run your mouth. And now I would like to address the dog and your dad. Because I always want to make sure I'm playing folks fairly. See, really read what was written in reference to you having a support dog. Really read it, my sweet babies. Don't let a person like D.L. Hugley cloud your head on what he wants you to know. The words are there. The words are a person that would need a support dog is a person that should never speak ill about anybody because they have their own concerns and issues that they're dealing with. Now, when you speak about your children and your family gave you that dog because you were really close with your dad and the love that y'all have, and you want to keep him with you all the time, I respect that.
Hold
And I
on.
hope that your
So
dad
we the
told
sweet
you,
babies.
son, don't
He's the
mess with people
daddy,
that's not messing with
and she's
you
the
because
mama.
you're going to get your ass handed to
The
you.
hell they all? What they are?
I hope
Parents
your
or some
dad
shit?
shared that with you
The
so as you're walking the dog full of
hell going
love
on over
in
here?
reference to your dad that is respected. I
The
hope
hell
you
going
take the
on with these
principles
niggas?
and the morals and the values that Mr. Hugley fed into you to say, hey, brother, treat people like you want to
God
be treated.
damn.
Now, you treated Monique like you wanted to be treated. You talk shit to that baby for years, and then Saturday night, you got tender. How does that make sense for all the comedians that's watching? What are we teaching them, DL? Are we teaching them it's okay to act that way? For the older veteran comedians that got involved into this conversation right here and y'all started speaking foolishly, what are we telling the babies coming behind us? See, that's important to me. I know for some of y'all, it ain't important to y'all. You got yours, they got theirs to get. It's important to me what they see. It's important to me that they did see that contract. I'm
Hit the
glad you
cash app,
showed that
brothers and sisters.
contract.
Hit the
Sweet
PayPal.
babies, if
It's
you are
Dr.
your own
Umar.
business, you should have your own contract. I don't know what kind of business DL does, that he would have a deal memo and say that
Let's
that is
get
a
this school up
contract.
and running.
And you now know, for those who didn't know before and those who heard, the difference between a deal memo
Somebody
and a
said they gonna be
legal
out.
binding
You'll be
agreement.
back.
That deal memo is
You'll be
not
back,
enforceable. So why would he give you a deal memo that
Mister.
is not enforceable in the court of law? Look it up for yourself. Versus showing you a contract, a standard contract that has been written up by our attorney. And please understand, in your 32-year history of being a stand-up comedian, how many times has this happened?
This is the first time.
And we understand the promoter needed to grow a pair and
I'm
tell
waiting to see if DL
DL
gonna
what
hop
the
on.
situation was, because he got on the phone with our attorney
Yeah,
and
he need
I
to hop
and said
on
he
her
couldn't
live stream.
understand why DL's people were acting the way
Let's get
that
this
they
school
were
up and running,
acting
brothers and sisters. Hit
when
the
we
cash
Hit the
app.
don't
Hit the
have a
PayPal.
contract. I made a verbal commitment to him, but we don't have a written contract. Okay. Now, I don't know about you in 2022, because we don't have horses tied up to a stick outside for them waiting for us, where a handshake and your word supposed to mean something. The man said, I didn't have a contract. Now, he could have been lying, but DL provided you with a memorandum of understanding. A memo is what it said. You read it. So when you get a chance to see it, compare it, listen. Don't be afraid to go with what's right, because they will get you based upon who's popular. Don't do that to yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice.
And I want to address it, Daddy.
Kid.
For those of you who had questions about my professionalism on that stage, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing it for a long time.
It's
So
night
for
and day
those of you who
network,
have
not day and night
questions
network,
about
Shanda.
how I handle my stage performance, listen, that's my stage performance, and I'm unapologetic
Gotta get it
about it.
right, buddy. Gotta
I'm
get it right.
unapologetic about that stage that I go on.
Vivica who?
Vivica A. Fox. I'm unapologetic about what I do on that stage. What you are not is a stand-up comedian
Oh, she taking
by
shots at
far.
Vivica Fox.
So for you to have any questions about it, Ask somebody that can really educate
Yeah,
you
stop
on what
instigating.
that stage is, not someone that want to host
This shit
and
is
take female
entertainment.
comedians around and get paid off of their
Entertainment
craft.
for these rich niggas. This
See, I don't mess
entertainment.
with anybody, y'all.
And a lot of individuals that
She's
have
going at
had
biblical
a lot to
facts,
say have been individuals that
aka
have confided in
surgical
Monique.
disaster face.
They were friends.
Through the
Choppy.
years,
Like Sister.
it's like Sister
Thanks for the
Vivica,
super chat,
like
brothers.
Sister Kim Whitley, like through the years, y'all. So
Brother
it is
Styles
important for me
Washington.
to say this. It is important for me to talk to the little
Said, what's the
girls
cash
who
at?
is not here yet. It is important for me to talk to the babies who's in the 7th grade and 8th grade and 9th grade, and they thinking about getting in this business. It is important for me to let y'all know what to look out for. I'm obligated to do that, and I'm gonna tell you why. When y'all gave me the title of auntie, I didn't ask for it. I didn't sign up for it. I didn't campaign for it. I didn't write a letter. That's what you babies begin to call me, and I took it as an obligation
And an honor.
and an honor for a community to now look at me as a 54-year-old woman and call me auntie. So my job is, and I'm obligated to say, this is what you must look out for. This is what you must watch out for, because people that you welcome into your home, the sister, making sure that can y'all still hear us?
Yeah, you choppy though,
Make
Monique.
sure.
You gotta get your thing right. You know what I mean?
If you can still hear us, say yes. Yes.
You
What
turn
I
it
am
around in
not
the middle.
is the
Oh,
sister
come on.
that
She
you
turned
can
it
poke,
around.
that you can say what you want to say, that you can make fun of and you can joke, because what I am is a comedian. What I am is a comedian.
Should have been turned that
That's what
joint
y'all
around,
forget.
man.
And see, Vivica, when you questioned and you said you side out of the audience about them saying they were clapping for me and how could she do that? Were you listening to the audience in front of me? They were entertained, sister. They were laughing. Some were standing. Some were hollering. They were enjoying themselves. So I hope now you don't take what I'm saying to you personal, because I don't take it personal. I just want to address it so that maybe y'all will think twice before y'all start speaking on people's lives and their decisions, because you have your own issues.
And we have to stop being comfortable with hearing the tea spilled on someone else. But now you are uncomfortable
definitely a hater.
with a black woman sharing her own personal
She
experience.
need to get her a husband.
She ain't
man.
dropping dimes. She ain't spilling the tea on nobody else. She's not spreading a rumor on somebody. That we're comfortable with that. She's telling to you, and she's speaking to you in reference to how do we avoid the pitfalls that's out there designed to catch us up.
How? So June 18th, I'm going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Come on.
At the Duke Energy Center. And will I have some shit to say? Yes, but I keep the stage the stage. I keep this. When we talk to our community, it's in nothing but love. And I love us for real. Despite what y'all want to think, I even love the ones even more who don't get it. I love the black women even more who tell me to shut up and sit down because I know I got to fight for your babies. Because you damn sure not.
Dang.
You damn sure not. So for every person out there, every black woman out there, I'm speaking to us. Every woman out there, be unflinching in your position. Be unwavering in your position, and don't let a damn soul bully you. I don't care who
Smash
it
that
is.
like button,
Let them know when they run into you, they running
Hit the
into
cash
a wall.
at.
So D.L. Hugley, you ran into a wall, brother. You ran into somebody that said, I ain't taking that land down.
A wall, brother.
And when you run into an individual, because people don't
What
understand
the hell he talking
why
about when you
Monique is
run
the
into
way
an
that she
individual?
is. See, when you run into an individual, because you wanted to tell your story in reference to your history and things of that nature, and that's fair. You're looking at a woman that was molested at 7 by her brother, her older brother. Okay? 15, 16 years old.
Somebody said she about
then
to mess a
that
BMF
brother
roll
walks
up.
her down the street and lets 2 other of his friends do the same thing to her. When she gets old enough and understands the level of violation that she experienced without her mother and father coming to her aid, she realized I gotta sometimes do this myself. I gotta fight. I'm not gonna let nobody else take nothing else from me. The only difference now is, Daddy,
Hey, Macaroni, if you don't
and
like
Mama,
it, change your station.
we're gonna stand together in this and let folks
I
know
know.
that's what you're
Fuck
supposed
off.
to do. They got us fooled in believing what we doing is odd, is wrong. No, we supposed to stand together and uplift our community. And black men out there who out here attacking these black women for taking a position, that's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of weakness. And I want to shout out the good brothers like David Banner.
Come on. Come on.
I want to shout out the good brothers like our main man from Full Force, Bow-Legged Lou,
Come on.
who always shout us out.
Come on.
Okay, they supportive and say, stand strong.
Come on.
Maurice Duncan, that y'all don't know, but that's my man. He's a PR cat. They get some of the baddest cats on there.
We can't forget
Curry, my
Mr.
brother.
Nashville.
He ain't no
Can't
cornball.
forget Brother Larry Nashville.
Cannot. And I want to shout out a sister. Couple of them. One sister's name is Corey B.
Come on.
And that sister goes on the road with me. And when that sister told me after it was said and done, not when it was happening in the moment, when I found out people were putting her off of shows because of her relationship with me, and she looked at me and said, if you rockin', I'm rolling, bitch. I don't care about them people putting me off them shows. See, that sister right there, she one of the baddest in the game. But there's another sister in this game that is a legend, that is a vet, that is so brilliant in what she does. And that sister's been calling me the whole way through. And her name is Roseanne Barr.
Come on.
The one we tried to throw away.
Roseanne.
See, I can't name the other black female comedians that say, hey, sis, I'm just calling to check on you. Just want to make sure you're good, because the fight is for y'all, God damn it.
Because if she's sitting here with some of the most prestigious awards, she's sitting here as the only comedian in the history. And some people will say Whoopi Goldberg. No, she's the most brilliant comedic actress in history in terms of what she's done. She's a monologuist. But in terms of a stand-up comedian, Monique is the only female stand-up comedian in the history that is of color to have ever won an Academy Award. And you can tell me about the white one that's won it. A 22-year running sitcom, the first black woman in the history of the game to have a sitcom go 5 years, 100 episodes. But y'all didn't know that, and they don't want to talk about that, and they want to keep it quiet, because if you don't speak about what it is that what you've done, then it's like you've done nothing.
And DL, let me address you on this, brother. When you say it's what you're doing right now, see, you've made people believe I've stopped being a stand-up comedian. I've never stopped being a stand-up comedian, baby. I've been out there on that road doing my thing the whole time. So stop trying to put a false narrative out there. That's Steve Harvey's big word. Stop trying to put a false narrative out there that, oh, I just disappeared. No, brother, Hollywood doesn't stop the show. You know that, DL. You've been in those comedy clubs. As a matter of fact, there were times you was leaving and I was coming. We didn't stop doing what we do. So why ever would you try to feed that into the community?
And I also want to thank Brother 50.
Come on.
Curtis Jackson.
Come on.
You didn't have to say what you said.
Come on.
But you did. Appreciate you. One black man to another.
I want to talk right to our baby. From one black woman to that beautiful, pure-hearted black man. And let me be clear. I'm saying Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is of pure heart. So when y'all get to talking about, oh, 50, you next, oh, that's a man, that's a king. He's of pure heart, baby, and he's principled. See, we have conversations offline and people got to saying, she ain't thanked 50, she ain't said nothing to 50. We don't have to have our relationship online. And that brother ain't said nothing. when people tried to turn that thing into something ugly that it was not. So again, for you, brother, Curtis,
We love you.
we love you, baby. And there are those out there that we don't know your names. We want you to know we love you. We want you to know for the ones that's been down with us, been rocking with us, been buying the tickets, we love y'all and thank you, my babies. So we appreciate y'all joining us on this live. DL, an open invitation.
And I want to share one thing with you.
Share it, baby.
Leave you with this. Something I heard, this ain't from me. It says the individual has always had to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try, you will be lonely often and sometimes afraid.
Peace, love, Angel. See you.
But there is no price too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself.
We love y'all, my sweet babies.
Love you,
For
sweet
free.
babies.
Love you.
2.4K people here. Y'all smash them like shit. I hope y'all show up when we start speaking about them high ass gas prices and them empty foods on the shelf. I hope y'all show up for that one. You know what I mean? Because we be going in on some real stuff on this channel.
Exactly.
Y'all gotta tune into the lives when we be going in on the Illuminati's, the celebrities. We going in everybody, man. But y'all don't show
Hell
up
yeah.
for that, man. Y'all gotta show up for the real stuff we be talking about, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We be spitting them facts over here for y'all that been on this live that know what we be talking about on these lives. Borderline getting our channel deleted just to bring y'all some real talk. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta show up for that. There's over 2.4 some people. Show up for the realness. So make sure y'all hit them notification bells, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and stay tuned to what we really be talking about. Because this shit right here, what Monique doing, that shit is entertainment value. This shit
they
with
selling
Monique,
tickets.
this shit with Monique and
They selling
DL
tickets.
Hugley is entertainment value. This shit don't mean nothing to us. This shit don't really matter to what the real shit we be talking about on this live.
When
You know what I'm saying?
gas hit $10, $15 a gallon, y'all niggas gonna wish y'all heard this information.
Exactly.
We telling y'all niggas to go buy
we tell
seeds
niggas to
and
stock up seeds. We tell niggas to stock up food. We tell niggas to stock up water and gas. We tell you niggas to go find springs near y'all local areas to stock up on water, because the collapse of this country is happening real soon. You niggas gonna be still